And welcome to another set of Eve lessons. My name is Redacted. Well, that's actually the name of my character. I'm Mike Azariah, usually when I'm in game, part of Operation Magic School Bus. If you haven't heard of me, it's okay, lots haven't. Now, today we're going to run through part of the industry career and answer a few questions that I'll timestamp hopefully down below when I'm done with this. But for now, let's get started. So, you have a character, you just got into station, you are in what is called a Corvette. Corvette is the gaming equivalent of a rusty dagger and a loincloth. It barely will help you survive. And you would like to get out of it as soon as possible. We're going to talk about that in a bit. To begin with, we've gone through the tutorial and gone to the system that they direct you to. In this case, it's Clelinon, I never can say that right, but you'll be directed to the nearest career system and given a chance to talk to the career agents once you dock there. And there are 5 career agents. I strongly recommend that you do all 5. Today we're just working on one of them, the industry. And when you get there, you can see that they are advanced military, industry, business, exploration, and basic military. So you double click the one. Today we are doing industry. And they come up and say, I have a job for you. And this is the series called Making Mountains Out of Molehills. Now, really common question we get asked in Rookie Help Chat is, how do I mine? It used to be that they gave you a miner in the ship right off the bat. They have changed that in the new player experience, so you don't have that anymore. But they do, if you go and do this first mission, they say following items will be granted to you when the mission is accepted, 1 miner 1. So you get it. So you say accept. Now that miner is not fitted to your ship. You have to do that. So to do that, you can hit Alt F or click this icon over here on the side, which opens the fitting window. You can see right now this ship is fitted with a couple of light electron blasters because I haven't been doing other things with it. But we're going to unfit that. Yes, I understand. And now I have an open slot. Miners and weapons take the high slots in a ship. This is the high slots, the mid slots, and the low slots. So you open your cargo. That would be Alt-C or click here. And you'll see that we have a civilian miner right there. That was provided to us by the mission. And we also have a miner 1. We're going to use a miner 1. So you can right click and say fit to active ship. Or if you didn't want to do that, I unfit it again, I could just drag and drop and it appears there. Miners do not need any ammunition, so you are all set. And I can step out, say close this. It says, now in Eve, they actually expect you to read the missions. I know. Who the hell in a game expects you to actually read what you're supposed to do? Click accept, run to the nearest diamond shape that says this is what you need to kill it, and come running home. In this game, if you skip the reading, you will die more than once. And you will be confused a lot. Even if you read the missions, occasionally you'll get confused. But if you don't read the missions, you are lost. But so go to the asteroid field your agent sent you to, which means not any asteroid field will do. You got to go to the one they're sending it to and mine 1,000 units of Veldspar in that location. Or mined in another location, they won't accept. You have to go where they're sending you to. Okay? And it's in the system that we're in. So we have fit what we need. We know where we're going. And we are on mission 1 of 10. The number of people who warp out, not having read, not having fit, get out there, go to an asteroid belt, and then ask in Rookie Help Chat, how do I mine? And almost every one of them has not fit the tools. It's like running out in the yard and saying, how do I dig a hole? And you haven't bought a shovel yet. Unless you're a golden retriever, it might be a little difficult. Golden retrievers don't use shovels. So, you can see your mission over here, and it actually has the option, warp to location. If you don't like using that, you can right-click empty space and see mountains out of molehills, encounter, warp to location. Either one will work.
Warp drive active.
You wait a moment to go to warp and get to location. I'm going to have a latte with Kahlua. I'm allowed. Now, while we're talking about this, over here is called the overview. It's labeled, it says overview. And it has 3 settings plus one I've added in another video. But the 3 that you come with are general, mining, and warp to. If we're going for a mining mission, it would make sense to click on the mining tab. Notice that I now can see an asteroid. If I click on general, I don't see that asteroid. If I click on warp to, I don't see that asteroid. You need to have your overview set to see things if you actually want to interact with them. Now I'm going to control click to lock on the asteroid. And if you hover over your miner, you'll see it has a range of 10 kilometers. This is 6 away. So I have locked the target. I am within range of the target. I activate the miner. And you can see it is eating up that rock slowly. To turn the view, what I'm doing is left clicking on the screen and just moving back and forth, up and down, that sort of thing. And I do like to be able to see what I'm doing. Now, if you want to see how it's going, you notice the miner has a cycle time. In other words, it takes time to go all the way around. And if you right click and show info and attributes, it says it is 1 minute to do 1 complete mining pass. So if I open my cargo hold right now, and I'm looking at my cargo hold, you'll see no ore has appeared. As this reaches the end of its first minute, some ore will appear, which gives me time for another sip of my latte. That's it. Now keep mining. They want 1,000 units, and I picked up 460. So if you do the math on that, 2 times will be 920, and I'll wait 3 times. This is going to take 3 minutes. This is how you mine. Find the rock, lock the rock, activate the miner or miners that you have active. If you're an alpha pilot just starting out, the best ship to do mining in is a Venture. It is one of the few times I will use the term best in reference to Eve. But the Venture has a 5,000 cubic meter ore hold specifically made for mining. So instead of it going into your main cargo hold, it goes into a separate hold and won't fill up as fast. So a couple of different agents, including this one, will give you a Venture if you manage to get through them. You can get ships for free from the career agents. They pay well and they give you ships, and this is the only time in this game you will find agents who pay well and give ships relative to the difficulty of the mission. I've now gone through a second cycle, so we're at 920. Now if you stop a cycle mid-cycle, it will give you the fraction that's been there. So if I wait till this is all the way up to half up and just say stop, you'll see I've passed my 1000 Veldspar. I didn't have to wait the extra 30 seconds. So I can say, fine, I'm done, dock. I right-clicked the station and selected dock. Since I have 1000 units of Veldspar, I can go back and the mission will be done. When you are done a mission, you don't have to drag drop the Veldspar to the station. You just have to dock at the appropriate station and then open a conversation with the agent. They will automatically unload what they want if they want anything.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, when you have docked, as I said, start a conversation with the agent You can right click and say start conversation, or you could double click the agent and say complete mission. And they say they're going to pay me some ISK, which they did. I made 415,631 ISK off of that. And that's one mission down. Then, since we're trying to get through this, on to 2 of 10. And this time, he's going to give me a venture. I'm going to get that ship I was telling you about. If I can get some tritanium, 150 units of tritanium. Now, if you go out to the belts to mine tritanium, you won't find any. Tritanium does not exist in belts. What exists is Veldspar. So I'm going to check my ore hold to see if I'm carrying any spare. I actually have some tritanium. But we're going to go out and mine it, and 460 ought to do it. So what happens is you mine the Veldspar, which will say, okay, yeah, we're going to do this. Undock. And now comes the next thing. Occasionally on the weekends, which is when I'm recording this, the belts get mined out, both by NPCs and other players. So there's really good odds that I'm going to go to a belt and not see a single rock. If you click on the mining tab, you can see all the belts are there, and we'll pick one. We'll go with the bottom one and warp to it.
Warp drive active.
The rest of this is advertising. Mobile depots are various groups advertising. Some of those are probably trying to sell ISK, which is illegal in game. Others might be recruiting for join us or our organization. Meh. If you're going to join a corp, I would strongly recommend that you do some reading on how to find a good corp, and make sure you know what you want to do when you join a corp, because if you like doing mining and you suddenly join a PvP corp, you are going to be very disappointed with them, and vice versa. And there are corps for each different. Now look at this. According to this, I am at the belt and not a single rock has shown up. We'll try another one just to make the point. But usually I find if one belt's mined out, they've gone through it and it's cleaned out. So I'll show you a couple options of what to do. Nope, also cleaned out. 3 options I want to mention off the top. 1, you can go to another star system and look at those belts. Quite often, the rookie career systems are mined out, the neighbors aren't. So if you're willing to travel a little, you can do that. 2, you can take one of the other missions. You're allowed to run more than one agent at a time. So if you take another mission, quite often there's rocks in that mission. Kill whatever you have to kill, and then mine the area, then report back. 3, hit Alt-P, which is what I'm about to do. Alt-P brings up the scanning. Now, if you look at this, there's all these cosmic signatures and all sorts of things, but there's also asteroid belt remnants. And if I hover over there, you can actually say, just warp to this remnant site.
Warp drive active.
Remnants you can think of as the leftovers or scraps. You don't want to be a full-time miner and try to work through that area. But it does give you the chance to mine locally without having to pick up another mission, without having to go to another set. And it is mainly found only in the career system. So if you're running this set of missions, this is an option for you if you find the regular belts are mined out. And when they're cleaned out, they respawn. But again, like I said, they're so minor that they're not minor, M-I-N-O-R, not M-I-N-E-R, that they're not considered worth most people's time. And so I warp to 0, and there's a Veldspar right there. It's a little ways away from where I am, but that's okay. I'm going to go head towards it. And since I have a go faster button, I will use it. And it will take a moment to get there. Like I said, reading. reading the missions is good. Another place to go to if you're first starting out is Rookie Help Chat. Now, I have Rookie Help Chat in local closed because I don't want too many interruptions while I'm doing this right now. But you should almost always have local open for a few reasons. And you should always have, if you're starting out, Rookie Help Chat, and it will scroll. Let me show you just for a second while we're talking with this. And you have, on the weekend, you've got goofy people who are trolling the channel, whatever. But you also have a few helpful people, I even show up there occasionally, who do their best to answer your questions. So if you are stuck on something like how do I mine, hopefully in about 4 days when you ask that question, they will link this video and you'll see how to mine. If you ask about exploration, I have made a video for that. My goal is to make videos for a lot of things so that the people don't have to type as much in Rookie Help Chat. So I'm close enough. I'm going to come to a complete halt, which is Control Spacebar if you didn't know. And see that it says ship stopping. I've already locked, no, have I locked the target? No, I did have it locked. Silly me. Lock target, activate miner. We're going to let go for a cycle. We're going to sip our latte. And we're going to shift back so I can see that this is industry career 2 of 10. What else can I tell you about mining? Oh, people always ask, what's the best ore to mine? Now, there are some ores and some things that ores refine to that are worth more than others. Problem is, the really valuable stuff is in really dangerous areas. So if you want to go to nullsec and mine, you are welcome to, but if you are not part of one of the larger corps, you may die and lose all your ore and the ship and wake up in a clone back in your home station. So as far as I'm concerned, the best ore to mine is the one that you can find, is close, and you can grab it, mine it, deliver it, and move on. Other people like to do things called moon mining, which is done by corps because they have to be able to set up the moon drill to be able to tear chunks of the moon off and make it a mineable, kind of like an artificial asteroid belt. They happen in 0.5 space, but that may be changing soon. CCP, the game company, is talking about changing how ores are mined. So this is a tumultuous time for miners overall. Ah, look at that. I got 600 Veldspar already. I'm going to let this one just run to the end of its cycle, and then we're going to head out. So we don't know where mining's going right now. Nobody knows. CCP probably doesn't even know what's going to happen next, because sometimes I feel like they just poke us with a stick to see what we'll do. Sometimes it works, other times there's revolution, or they've been known to cause complete wars by some of their decisions. So I'm going to stop mining because I have over 1,000 Veldspar, and we're going to say I want to go home again.
Warp drive active.
Another guy did show up to mine, which is okay because he's far enough away that I'll be gone before he even gets here. So the next question is, you've mined Veldspar, but the mission is asking for tritanium. So how do you get from one to the other? Well, first, you cannot do it in space. You do have to be docked. Okay, so we will wait the 5,000 kilometers until I get to the station and dock.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
And I'm going to open my cargo hold again. Instead of clicking on the icon, I hit Control-C. And look inside my ship, and there's all the Veldspar. If you right-click it, you will see it has the option of Reprocess. So I select Reprocess, and it says we're going to turn this 1,000 units, 1,110 units of Veldspar into 2,282 units of tritanium. And I say, yeah, go for it. And it says it's going to appear in the item hanger. So I say reprocess. My Veldspar vanishes except for 10. They couldn't use the last bit. And my item hanger now has a lot of tritanium. And I can start conversation with the agent and say complete mission. They only wanted 150 units, so I could have gone with what I had in spare change Veldspar from previous things, but I want to show you the mission. So they've given me a venture, but let's see what they want me to do next. They want me to make a civilian afterburner, and they will provide me with the blueprint. So now, since this is an industry mission set, 3 of 10. Since this is an industry mission set, they are trying to teach you how to do industry, how to make things. And if we succeed, they will give me a thing called an expanded cargo hold that let my ship carry a little more. So I'm going to say, okay, accept. And you see in my item hanger has appeared a civilian afterburner, something I can make. And they want 2 civilian afterburners. And this one, amazingly enough, is called a copy. And it has 2 runs remaining, which means when I do this mission, I'm going to use up the copy. If you have blueprint originals, they have infinite numbers of runs. Copies have limited runs, and once they're done, they're gone. Okay. Best way to use it for me is I right-click and say use blueprint. That brings up the industry panel. And in a moment, it also brings up the job already loaded. And I can say I want to do 2 runs of this. So you can say how many job runs there. It says for this to work I need some tritanium, which amazingly we have more than enough. And it says it will take 9 minutes and 24 seconds. So I better get this started. Now what I'm going to do is pause this video, because I'm not going to make you sit here listening to me for 9 minutes and 20 seconds, and then pick it up when the job is completed. So there'll be a slight time break, and then we'll start up again. Okay, and we're back. As you can see, we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds left, and the job is completed. But if I actually go into my, it's not there. My cargo hold isn't holding the thing. It said it finished the job. And the reason is there's 3 set tabs here. One is blueprints, that shows what you have running. One is facilities, that tells you where locally you can do things. And the last is jobs. And to finish a job, you have to click deliver for it to be done. So if I click deliver, and then look into my cargo hold, you will see I have 2 civilian afterburners, and now I can say complete mission. I got paid, I got the expanded cargo hold, not that I really care about that right now, and we're done another one. Okay, boop. And so we move on to 4 of 10. So we're going to request a new mission. And this one, they said they're going to give us another miner and some ISK. They're going to ask for a bit of collateral, but they're going to ask, acquire these goods, and they want us to find 7,000 tritanium. Now, they don't have that condition. Technically, I could buy it, but I actually don't mind doing it. But let's take a look, and I have right now 4,000. But to make mining simpler, we are going to change to that ship that they gave us. You do recall that they gave us a ship, and that ship is called a Venture. And to assemble it, you double click it, and it suddenly is a boardable ship. And now before I get into that one, I'm going to take from the ship I'm in, Alt F to open up the fitting. I'm going to take the miner out of that. Okay. Now when I am in the new one, because if I get in a new ship and bring up Alt-F, I double-clicked to board it. You also could right-click, say, board ship. I just tend to be a double-click kind of guy. Alt-F, you notice it's got nothing. If I take it out in space, I can't mine because I don't have anything, no modules to mine with. So I'm going to open the inventory, go to my item hanger, and say, let's fit the miner that we have. Now, if you've been in the game a little, you might have trained up drones, and drones are excellent. They could handle the bad guys. If not, you're stuck with whatever weapon system you have. I happen to have a light electron gun, so I'm going to fit it to the ship. And I'm going to put some ammo in there as well. And we are going to go hunting wabbits. Okay, so we say undock. And we have warp to location. I'm going to make sure that my guns are loaded. They are not. Load iron charge. The range on this is 3,000, so if I want to beat somebody up, I'm going to be at close enough range to almost slap them.
Warp drive active.
Warp to mission site. Close this. While we're talking about this, let me talk about views. If you hit Alt-3, you get a first-person view. Like, that's the view out of the front of your ship. Alt-2 is the one you're normally in. Oh, look, two bad guys. Let's lock them up. And Alt-1 is a handy one. Oops. Because it shows ranges. So I can see when they're within the range of my gun or my miner. So one of them is close enough. Actually, they both are. And I'm opening fire. That's one of them down. They're hitting me and I have no defenses. This is a stripped down venture. But good enough for them. And if we switch to mining, we can see that there's a couple of rocks just sitting there waiting for me. So I can activate my miner and it will go to work on these ventures. And you can see slowly that while we're waiting, the damage to my ship is being repaired. 75, 76. Shields regenerate. They repair themselves. They also automatically fill to full if you dock. On the other hand, if they'd gotten into my armor, that would have cost me ISK to repair, or else I would have had to fit a self-repairing module or go near a citadel, none of which are in this system, or have a friend who has a remote repair module to repair me as well. There's a bunch of ways to get repaired, but the nice thing about being a shield tank is it repairs on its own as long as you're still not being shot. And it repairs if docked free. Personally, if you're cheap, I believe that doing a shield tanked ship is cheaper. If you're really cheap, you'll go with a shield tank ship that can use drones, and then you don't have to pay for ammunition either. Because I did have to take a few shots, and so well, I don't even have enough ammo to reload that thing. That's my bad. Fortunately, that's all that showed up, so you should carry ammo with you whenever you're traveling, and I was foolish not to carry enough ammo, but I figured this one is very light on the drone, so it was good enough. If I'd had my own drones, I would just put them out there and set them off, and in the same channel that this video is in, there's also a drones lesson, so if you want to learn a bit about drones being operated out of a venture, then look to see other lessons in this YouTube channel. Okay, let's see how we're filling up. 1,000 Veldspar. Might as well lock the other two just in case the first asteroid runs out. Remember, the return that we had in the earlier mission was about a 2-to-1 return from Veldspar to Tritanium. Seeing as I said I need 7,000 Tritanium, if I can get to 3,500 Veldspar, that will be enough for this mission. And at that point, I will be warping back to the station and docking. Okay, so we're just waiting for the minutes to cycle through and to get to where we want them to be. Sometimes EVE, especially when you're mining, is a game of patience. If you have 2 screens, then, or a tablet, a phone, pull up Netflix, watch something, check your mail. As long as you still have this on the screen, because there are enemies that will warp in on you and end you if you're not paying attention. And no, the game can't tell when you're paying attention. I'm just saying it happens. Triglavian Rasnaborgs. Those suckers will take 1 shot to take out a miner. If you don't see them coming or you're not paying attention when they land on grid, the next warning you will have is the explosion in the view of your ship as it is gone. Okay, and your body floating in the wreckage. Seen that, didn't enjoy it. Other players, there are organizations that actually make a hobby of hunting miners. So if they see you mining and think you're not paying attention, they will show up and demand you either pay tribute or they'll blow you up. And if you're not paying attention, you don't even have a chance to say no or get the hell out of Dodge. And so they'll blow you up and then demand tribute. I've never quite worked that one out. Extortion shouldn't work if you have violence done to you, then they ask for the money. I've broken your ankles. No, pay up. I've already broken my ankles. But there's an organization in EVE that does that. And your best bet is they do not cover all of space. Go elsewhere. If it's a bad neighborhood, find a good neighborhood. We have enough ore.
Warp drive
Notice
active.
I did not even bother turning off the miner. It will turn off when I hit warp, so off we go. The white line, you can see the range, the green range and the red. I like tactical view sometimes, but for the most part I seem to live in just the camera view.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, remember they asked for 7,000 units of Tritanium, so we're going to go into our ship's hold, Alt-C, ship's hold or hold, and right-click and say reprocess, and I'll reprocess a lot. Didn't have to. I could have said 3,500, got exactly what I wanted, but I'm lazy. And now we'll start conversation with the, that was a right-click, complete mission. And that was 4. One more mission, then we'll end this video, and I'll do 6 through 10 another time. So we're going to request the mission. And this one is a pickup and transport. So they want me to pick something up from the station we're in, Clellan 611. See that? And deliver it. So I could right click and say set destination and travel 5 jumps to complete the mission. If I accept it, they'll give me an afterburner, which would be nice. They'll give me another expanded cargo hold, which we'll talk about in a second. And I will say, yes, I will do your mission. Now, please notice, even though they're asking you to do trucking, they don't load your ship. So if I go to the item hangar, there's the crate of electronics. I need to move it into my ship. There's the afterburner. If I want, I can go right-click, fit to active ship, and it will be over there. I have, oh, there's the expanded cargo hold. So right now, if you look in the ship, That filled almost the entire ship, 40 out of 50. Expanded cargo hold increases by a percentage. So if I say, where is it? Fit to active ship, bump. Now, oops, why are you not reading right? Alt F. I have area, I can now take 58.8 cubic meters. So I increased it by about 16%, which probably is what it would say if I did that. I'm still not tanked. I have a miner and a single gun. It would be nice if I had a bit more ammo. So we'll look in the item hanger and say, nope, not carrying enough ammo. I could buy it, but I really don't worry about that too much because we're going to go for, this is a straight delivery run. So we have set our destination. We have accepted the mission. This being the last mission, undock. I want to talk about travel just for a second, and I talk about this in some of the videos. One, yes, there is a thing called autopilot. If I hit Control S right now, then the ship would fly itself and dock at the destination. The thing is, it would do it slowly and badly and advertise to everybody that I was AFK and on autopilot. The other thing is, if you set destination and click on this first column, the icon column, if you do it so that the gate is yellow, that is the next gate you're going through. So all I have to do is click jump, and I will warp directly to the gate and jump through immediately. Not jump 10 kilometers from the gate and then up to the gate to go through it. Autopilot stops 10 kilometers short and then slowly travels to the gate. So if anyone is camping the gate, they can look and say, oh, look, that guy landed 10 kilometers off. He's not paying attention. Then they can decide if they want to gank you or not. I choose not to be an easy target, so I travel faster. I've arrived at the gate and I'm through. The other me, if I was on autopilot, would be still traveling the 10 kilometers left. Notice top of the list is yellow again. I just have to say jump.
Drive active.
So again, when you're traveling, you could be watching something, talking, chatting, and rookie help chat. Just don't walk away from your machine, especially if you're in space. There is no such thing as safe space in EVE. You are either docked or you are unsafe. Okay? In HiSec, yes, there is Concord, and they will avenge you, but they will not protect you. So if somebody decides they want you dead and you're in space, they can and will kill you. It is their option. The only thing is, then their ship will be killed by Concord, and they have to kill you fast. But they still can. You are not safe. And if you're doing what we're doing, which is carrying a mission item, you'll lose the mission because you no longer have the thing you're trying to deliver. Do not be lazy when you're carrying mission-specific items. Do not get distracted by side things. Oh, I'll just do a bit of mining on the way. Don't. Because to restart the mission, you will have to file a ticket in the game with a GM and wait for them to answer to give you the mission turned back on so that you can do it, or you give up that mission, but it also gives up the whole mission chain.
Warp drive active.
Okay, you can see on route we have 2 jumps left, and that we're making pretty good time. When you're traveling, that number up there is the security status of the system. It, again, does not mean safe. What it is how fast will Concord show up to blow up the people who shot at you. A 1.0 means they better be really good because they won't get more than 1 or 2 shots on you. A 0.5 system, Concord will take its own sweet time showing up. Think of good neighborhoods that are paying lots of benefits and bad neighborhoods. If you're below 0.5, Concord will not show up. The person can keep shooting you until you die, or you kill them. So 0.4 down to 0.1 is called low sec. Combat can happen. If you do it near a gate, the gate guns may open fire on you, and Concord may make note of you, so your standings will drop, but it will happen. If you're from 0.0 to negative 1.0, that is called nullsec. And that space, there is no Concord, there is no protection save what you can give yourself or what an organization you're a member of will give you. The other type of space is wormhole space. It's automatically negative 1.0, no rules there either. And there's also abyssal space, which is negative 1.0, but leastwise you don't run into a lot of people there. It's kind of an instanced combat site. And we'll talk about that. It's very pretty there. I love abyssal space another time. But as you see, we've managed to do our 5 jumps while I was chatting with you. So as soon as we dock up...
Docking permission requested.
We will be done.
Docking request accepted.
Notice it has a choice, start conversation. And that's how you deliver. You don't have to drag it into the station or that. You just talk to the agent once you're where you're supposed to be. Complete mission. Now if I request the next mission, they'll say, sounds good, please come home. We can't give you the mission until you're back where we want you. So I can set destination and go back, and this is where I'm going to end the mission set for this. If you sat all the way through this, thank you. I will try in the near future to make 6 through 10, the rest of this one. I hope you picked up a few things, and I hope this was helpful to you. And if you only listened to the first part, how do I mine? Great. But if you made it all the way to here because you want to see the full walkthrough, in-game I'm usually Mike Azariah. This character, my name is redacted, is being used to be able to teach people and make sure they see how to do things. And I will talk to you another time.